I mean, at this stage, there have been numerous reports of taxi drivers and commuters not complying with COVID-19 protocols. Now, the South African National Taxi Council is trying to do something a bit different and do something about it. It is embarking on a campaign to encourage the constant wearing of masks. Our reporter Lindo Gutlekulu joins us live from Pretoria. Now, Lindo, good to have you. Good morning. And I understand that this is quite an interesting one where commuters, taxi drivers are all encouraged to just comply by regulations to wear their masks and keep everyone safe.
Well, Letumele, you are right. This is a campaign under the banner of Mask On by Santaco, of course, a body of the taxi industry. They've always been seen as a law unto themselves, and today we're seeing something quite different. Of course, this is a joint effort together with the Department of Transport here in Gauteng. But perhaps let's let the pictures speak for themselves, Dumelo. We are next to Moloto Road, and this is where some of these particular operations by the taxi industry are taking place. You will see that there is quite a number of the officials from Santaco stopping taxis, each and every taxi that passes here. They are making sure that they stop them, they check whether compliance is something that is seen here, particularly the wearing of masks and sanitizing. And in fact, you are seeing live now the unfolding of that particular operation, everyone being checked inside the taxis, whether they are wearing masks, whether they are in fact adhering to some of those capacities. We understand, of course, that locally so the capacity still remains at 100%, but of course educational processes here, everyone disembarking from this taxi at this stage is being sanitized. This is what they are trying to encourage, to say that people must in fact have their masks on and must also in fact adhere to some of the regulations such as sanitizing at a time when we are experiencing a second wave. So that's the message that Santaco at this stage is trying to pass on, making sure that each and every driver that passes, each and every driver understands that regulations is not a matter of choice, but rather a matter of necessity, Dumelo.
Lino, let me just get clarity here. You're saying that in terms of occupation in taxis, it's still at 100% capacity. Is this the case? Is this what you're telling us? Because, I mean, I thought 70% was the capacity under level 3.
Well, under level 3, nothing changed for the taxi industry, particularly around the capacity. You would understand, or you would remember, Tumelo, that the capacity regulations deemed that those that are operating locally, so non-long distance taxis, would then be able to ferry 100% capacity. Given that everyone in the taxi is wearing masks, everyone will be sanitized, and also that everyone, rather the windows of the taxi will remain open. As we're seeing here, I'm not sure if you can see, but we are seeing that particular regulation being practiced here. But the ones that are deemed to have 70% capacity are the ones that are long-distance taxis. They are required at this stage to be, in fact, ferrying people at a 70% capacity. But at this stage, Tumelo, 100% remains only for those operating locally. And those are the stipulated, measures to say that wearing of masks, sanitizing, as well as opening of windows ever so slightly to ensure that the air is being circulated and that it is fresh all the time. So that's the situation as far as capacity is concerned, Tumelo.
Right. And just in terms of the commuters, Lindo Gutle, did you perhaps even get an opportunity to speak to one of the commuters about, compliance in taxis in terms of, wearing masks by other, commuters, by the taxi driver? Are they comfortable? Do they feel safe? Because I remember there was a big contention in the beginning of level 5 where most commuters, even in level 4, even going down to level 2, felt that they didn't feel really as safe in taxis because there wasn't much, I suppose, compliance at that time. But right now, do they feel safe?
Tumelo, we are in fact lucky because some of those commuters just got off the taxi right now. And in fact, or perhaps Bankabualenna, Banjuete, or Lifila safe na, Liapare the mask, Kisantako, but me Ufila safe, only co taxing, Uaperi mask, about sanitize.
And that the Gawakifila safe, I get more taxing, ban sanitize, I like a brushing, Gawakifila safe in that.
Bali sanitizer, very good taxi rank, Bali fast spray, and the buyers are sure Motuka fella or Peri mask.
Yeah, and that.
Okay. Okay. Ke a leboga mama ne for bua le rona. One of the ladies here who just got off the taxi, Tumelo, just giving us a sense that in fact there is that sanitizing happening in fact at the taxi ranks, and also that they make sure that everyone who gets in their taxis is in fact wearing a mask. So there is a sense of safety, at least from one of these commuters here. But the operations, we understand, will continue, Tumelo, as some of these taxi drivers are stopped here to ensure that they are also wearing masks, as well as their commuters in these taxis that are commuting people all around Gauteng.
All right, colleague, that's where we'll leave it. Thank you so much for this update. That was our reporter, Linda Kuhle.